In this video, I want to share the resources that I use to learn SwiftUI, right? Because we all learn from somewhere, right? I'm not just born with this knowledge, right? So, I definitely spent the past 6 months, again, working on my consulting project, building that, working in it every day, Googling, taking courses, reading blogs. So I want to share the stuff that I found most helpful. First off, you got to tip your hat to Paul Hudson of Hacking with Swift, right? He jumped on SwiftUI like from minute one. I was actually hanging out with him a lot at that WWDC where they announced it because we were doing our podcast Swift over coffee back then. And since that day, he's been like eat, breathing, sleeping SwiftUI. He's got so much content on his site. So of course you're familiar with him, right? But if you're not for some reason, definitely check that out. Check out Hacking with Swift Plus if you want to like really go to the next level on more advanced stuff. But yeah, his site was just invaluable. Like it's hard to Google something about SwiftUI and not see a Hacking with Swift article. So much credit there to helping me learn this. Next, I want to talk about the book Thinking in SwiftUI, because this isn't just like hey, here's how to build this view. Here's how to do this. This was kind of like how SwiftUI works under the hood and to help you, that SwiftUI mindset that I talked about, right? That shift, especially coming from imperative programming. The stuff with like the view tree diffing and how SwiftUI does that. It's a lot of like under the hood stuff. So with that being said, if you are like a brand new programmer, I'm not going to recommend not buying it or not getting it, but it may be a bit much, right? I definitely recommend this if you already have some programming knowledge or some Swift knowledge under your belt. That's for sure. Because again, it's not going to like show you how to build an app in SwiftUI. It's just going to really talk about how SwiftUI works under the hood. Next up, we have Majid here. His blog, he puts out SwiftUI stuff all the time. This was also very helpful. This always popped up in Google when I was like, how do I do this? So big shout out to Majid, very helpful. He also has a newsletter each week that shares SwiftUI articles. So that was very helpful as well. Definitely check him out. Give him a follow on Twitter. Good stuff here. And then, of course, John Sundell puts out a lot of great content, as always. Now, one thing you may notice, especially if you're going to follow a lot of these people, which you may already do, there's a lot of like overlapping in topics. But again, just like, I encourage other people to take courses other than mine, when stuff is explained in a different way or from a different viewpoint, even though it's the same topic, hearing it explained in two different styles can often be very, very helpful. Now, of course, there were many other resources. Like I said, I was Googling my ass off for 6 months. So of course, these were not the only 4, but these were the 4 I wanted to share that just kept coming up time and time again and that I found really, really helpful. And then lastly, depending on when you're taking this course, is my future SwiftUI courses. They don't exist yet as of November 2020, but I have made the full shift to SwiftUI in my content and my work. So expect more courses to come. And again, if you're taking this right when the course released, they don't exist, but keep an eye out. They're coming. So those are the resources that I found helpful. Now that you're done with this course, go forth, go out into the SwiftUI world, learn from others until I release my courses, then come back to me. But for real though, there's a whole plethora of great content out there. I just gave some examples. This is just the start of your SwiftUI journey, and I can't wait to see what you build.